Welcome to the complete JavaScript tutorial. In this video, we will talk about the functions like we saw in the first video about arrays, the property length. Here we will use just a built-in function, okay? Just allow us to add elements to the array. For example, I have an array that contains 3 elements, hello, good, and Ryan, for example. This is just a random 3 elements. And if I use the name of the array, that is R1, and I type dot push Yugi. So in JavaScript, this function, what we will do, it just will add this element to the array, okay? So now the R1 array will equal to hello, good, Ryan, and Yugi, okay? We add an element to the last of the array, okay? So we add it in the last of the array. So I will show you. This is also very important function to know. So I will go to my VS Code here. So we will use the same example that we saw in the first video. So I have here Joey, Trabiani, 30, 50, and 70. This is a random elements, okay? I want to add, for example, 100, okay? So I have to use Joey because it's the name of the array, okay? And I will type dot push like that, and here I can add the element that I want. So I will add, for example, 100 like this. This is a number. I can add it. I can go back to my browser, but before I want to display the array after, okay? So console.log Joey, great. So I will just type, I will save and go back, and I will refresh, and I have this array. So I have Joey, Trabiani, 30, 50, 70, 100, okay? Contains six elements, okay? So the 100 will be added to the last, okay? So a lot of people know these functions push, but what doesn't know is we can add a numbers of elements that we want. For example, I don't want just to add 100. I want to add 100. I want to add Chandler, and I want to add something good, for example, like this. So these 3 elements, I can add it using the push function in one time, okay? So I can add 100, Chandler, and good in one time will be added to the last element. So we will see the result. So I will console log. Why I delete the console log? I don't know. So I will type here Joey. I will save and go back to my browser, and I will refresh, and now I have 100, Chandler, and good. So I can add the number of elements that I want, okay? So also I want to show you something that's Joey push. I can push any element to the array. But remember, how many types we know so far of the variables? So we know the string, we type, for example, like that, hey, this is a string. We know the integer, we call it. So this is a number like 40 or 50, for example. And we know as a type, another type that we know is arrays. Arrays are numbers of elements. So the push functions, I can push a variable to the array. So I can push an array to the array, okay? Because array is a type of a variable. So I will go back here, and I don't want to push just this. I want, for example, to push to Joey another array, okay? So I will push Joey.push. Here, I want to push an array. So I can push it directly here, like that, or I can create another variable. For example, I will call it Chandler equal, so I have to say var Chandler equal to, for example, Chandler, and here 40, just a random variable, okay? This is an array, so I can push it to the Joey. So Joey now we will contain some variables, and we will contain a variable of type array. So I will type Chandler, and I will save and go back. And now I will go to console log console log Joey. Okay, and I will save and go back to my browser and refresh. And I have here Joey, Sarabiani, 3T, all these elements, but I have here something. In the last elements, I have an array. And if I click, I have here all the elements. I have Joey in the position 0, remember, Sarabiani in 1, 30, 100. And in the position 6, I have Chandler, 7 and good. And I have in it, I have a variable of type array. I have Chandler and 40, okay? If you want to see the last, just the last elements, I will type Joey. I want to see the last elements. Remember from the last video, to see the last elements, we can use the property length. So Joey dot length -1, and this is should be give us the last elements, but the last elements is an array. Okay, the things are going to be a little bit complicated for you, but like always, you can ask me if you have any problem. So I will go and I have here the last element, that is an array that contains Chandler and 40. Okay, so this is so much for this video. If you have any question, any problem about a step that I use in this video, just ask me. I will be more than happy to help you. Thank you and see you in the coming video.